Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Joining BJ Rains today is KTIK 95.3 FM The Ticket's Mike Prater. Listen to Idaho Sports Talk with Prater in the Ballgame, weekdays from 3 to 6 on 95.3 FM The Ticket and online at KTIK.com. Now, here's Mike Prater and BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, happy Thursday. How we doing, Boise State fans? Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. It's Thursday. We got Mike Prater, and he's finding out what it's like to have a puppy again.
Sorry about I was a little bit late, scrambling a little bit this morning. I lost my puppy, but I found him, and let's talk Boise State sports for the next 30 minutes.
Appreciate you coming on. We do have a lot to talk to. We do have a exclusive interview with George Holani that we're going to play here on the show as well and talk about that. And then I think you guys, Mike, may even use a few cuts on Idaho Sports Talk today as well.
Nice.
I got a chance to catch up with him yesterday and about 6 minutes, and he had some great stuff to say about his draft grade and what research he got and why he decided to come back for another year. And so we'll hear that here in a little bit. Do you want to talk basketball as well? It was I know Mike loves the Ken Pom numbers, loves the net. It's his favorite thing in the world. And Boise State did get a little help last night without even playing. So we'll talk about that as well. But Mike, I did have my first lesson.
You mentioned quad 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I got my notes. I saved it just for the one day of the week I knew it would mean the most was with Mike Prater on a Thursday. So I'm ready to go. But I did have my first lesson, by the way, with Ted Holloway out there at Timberstone Golf Course. And Mike, I'm coming for you, man. I'm coming for you.
Yeah, as you should. I've told you 2 years ago, I did some lessons with Tad and out there at Timberstone. Beautiful setup. 2 years ago, I had one of the best golf summers of my entire life. Last year, I didn't even talk to Tad. I sucked. I'm terrible. The fact that you went and talked to him the other day, oh, game on, BJ. I'm going to go see Tad, and we're going to get after it this summer.
I'm telling you, the TrackMan technology, I'm not sure if you can see it on the screen or not here, but my first shot that I took with him was a nice, easy 7-iron, like 130 yards. Wasn't that great. And he tells me, oh, you'll be hitting at 170 by the time we're done. Literally, here it is, 173 yards, like 20 minutes later with some of the small changes that he made. I picked up 40 yards on my 7-iron in like a half an hour. The cool thing for me was the TrackMan technology. As I said, here in this photo, he was matching up my swing with Justin Thomas, which I'm sure they looked exactly alike. But he was showing me some of the differences and things that I'm doing versus what a PGA Tour pro is doing. And I highly recommend it. It's part of our sponsorship. We have renewed for another year with Timberstone Golf Course. Pumped to announce that the second annual Bronco Nation News Golf Tournament is going to be on June 2nd out at Timberstone again. And I was out there and had a great meeting with them and got the lesson. And I just wanted to get that right off the bat that I highly recommend if you're looking to improve your game. A set of 3 lessons with Tad will significantly improve your score.
Yeah, and you just said 3 lessons, and I don't want to get too deep into this, as I'm sure you don't, but here's what I like best about that, and it's such a great service. Not only do you get the 3 lessons, at the end of the day, at the end of the service, he'll send you an entire database, all the video, all the stats, all the stuff. I learned more studying that at home for the next month than I did in those 3 lessons. So it's way beyond the 3 lessons. BJ, take advantage of studying that stuff at home. It really makes a difference.
Every single shot you took during the session, like literally within 2 minutes of your session, and you can go out to your car and you've already got it in your email on your phone.
Yes.
And it tells you exactly what shot you took, and you can watch the shot and the trajectory and see what you did right and wrong on every single shot. It's a very cool technology. And again, we're appreciative of Timberstone Golf Course for their sponsorship and Ted Holloway and the private lessons. So if you're looking to improve your game, get out there and do it. I highly recommend it, and I want to thank them again publicly for Tad and Kelly Christensen for year 2. They're back. So we went 9 for 9, Mike. All 9 of our sponsors from year 1 have officially renewed for year 2, so we must be doing something right at BNN.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing, BJ. Congratulations. I know you're starting your second year. It's very nice to see. By the way, is all this talk the sign that the BNN Golf Tournament's coming back for year number 2?
June 2nd. It is save the date, June 2nd. We had to talk off air, I guess. Hopefully KTIK wants to be a part of that again, and we would love to have Prater and Johnny and JP as our esteemed guests, and that'll be June 2nd. It's the same Friday after Memorial Day as last year. Went really well, and there is some talk, Mike, of even trying to split it up into a morning and afternoon session. We sold out in the morning last year, and so we're gonna see how much interest we get, but there is the possibility of doing a morning flight, splitting the lunch in the middle for after the first group, before the second group, and then having an afternoon tee time as well. So we'll have to see if we can get enough tee times, but that is on the table this year if there's enough interest.
We're talking golf, baby. I love it.
Okay, so let's talk Boise State basketball. And as I joked about having a good night last night, Texas A&M did have a huge win for Boise State. So, Mike, the Texas A&M win from earlier this season is looking better and better. Boise State goes on the road and crushes Texas A&M. I guess technically it was neutral site in the Dallas-Fort Worth area by 15. Texas A&M has been on a huge roll lately. Last night they beat number 15 Auburn at Auburn. That jumps them up into the net to number 43, I think it is. So Boise State now owns its first quad 1 win of the season. That's one of the knocks that was on their resume. They didn't have a quad 1 win. They now at least have one. And there's some other teams that are close as well. But number 21 in the net, I believe it is today. Number 27 at Ken Palm. The metrics, at least, Mike, the computer metrics for all the stat nerds and stuff, at least the metrics still love Boise State at this point.
Yeah, as they should. I don't know how much they take into the cosmetics of an ugly victory the other night, but Boise State had a double-digit victory at home against a team that it should have beat. So Boise State just keeps doing what it has to do. And I don't see, I was talking to a friend the other day. We're not even having bubble conversations with Boise State basketball. I mean, if they lost a couple, sure, we could have that. But I think Boise State's clearly in this field, clearly doing a nice job. Its resume is, at this point in the season, Boise State's resume is probably better than it's ever been in the history of this program. So they're doing a nice job and taking advantage of it. That early scheduling paid off for them, and it's paying off in terms of the wins and losses. So, right now they got the formula, and it's working for them.
Jordan says, not even February, and we're already watching South Dakota State, Utah Valley, Colorado. I know Mike loves the watching the other teams, but I will say this, Mike. South Dakota State was their first loss, the very first game of the season, and that is right now a quad 4 loss. Which for whatever. No, I mean that's I heard Gary Parrish and Matt Norlander on the College Basketball CBS podcast the other day talking about the Mountain West, and anybody should go listen to that. And the thing they look at for people like that don't watch every game, they just go to their net page and see it, and they say, oh, well, they had no quad wins and a quad 4 loss. I mean, the quad 4 loss is seen as a big detriment to their, and I think that's last year when they lost to Bakersfield, and that was quad 4. I think that might have been why they were an 8, not a 7. I mean, I really do last year. A quad 4 loss just looks terrible. And I'll say this, South Dakota State is on a nice run, and they're at number 166 right now in the net. If they can get to 160, so they just have to move up 6 spots, that becomes a quad 3 loss, which it sounds crazy, but I mean, that could be the difference in a seed line, whether or not South Dakota State finishes as quad 3 or quad 4. So they have a big game tonight. There's some other teams, Utah Valley. There's a lot of jostling at this point. And again, I don't know how you feel about it, Mike. It's not what it is when you play them. It's what they are at the end of the season. I mean, 3 times already earlier this season, Mike, Boise State played a team that was quote unquote quad 1, but Boise State beat them so bad they moved down to quad 2. With the system and how they rank them, and they had to have some way to quantify this, and that's kind of why they did this, to how you rank these games and kind of shuffle the deck and put it together. So they have this quad system, which I know some people like yourself maybe aren't a huge fan of all this kind of stuff. Watch the teams, see who's the best, and pick them. But if with the system we have, would you rather it be what they are when you play them or what they are at the end of the season?
Yeah, you're probably asking the wrong guy, as you've just kind of hinted. I don't really get wrapped up in any of that stuff. It seems like the system is fine. And again, back to my original point, if Boise State just takes care of business, and everybody's going to have an ugly loss, the Boise States of the world are going to have losses. We talk about this in football rankings all the time. If you play Texas A&M in September when they're ranked 9th, but they go on a 4-game losing streak, and all of a sudden they fall out of the top 25, do you get credit for that or do you not? It's an age-old sports argument. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it in March, if Boise State's resume is working to get into the NCAA tournament, they will. I mean, Yeah, I mean, I know some people, and you're into it, and we need people like you in our market. So I make fun of you a little bit, but we need you to give this kind of information because, a lot of other, casual fans don't really care. They want to know if they're winning. They want to know if they're losing. They want to know if they're going to the NCAA tournament, and they want to go to a couple of games a year. So, there's both sides. I get it. I totally understand it. I respect where you're coming from. I just don't think the casual fan cares that much as long as Boise State keeps winning, and Boise State's taking care of its business right now, and that's a cool thing to watch.
Yeah, you mentioned the resume. It is better right now than it was at this point last year. The net ranking is higher. The KenPom is higher. A lot of those games early in the season, like I said, even a Utah Valley, which when they were on the schedule and they were a home team, most fans were like, oh, here's another one of those cupcake easy games at home, Utah Valley. Well, you look up and they're like, number 73 right now in the net. I mean, that's a quad 2 game, which at the time you would have never thought anything about. So they played a pretty nice schedule. You had St. Louis, you had Colorado, you have some of these other games. And so we'll see what happens. But I mean, I hate to say it, they were an 8 seed last year. It has a lot to do with some of these metrics and things like that and how many quad whatevers you have. So it does matter. I mean, you say they want to make the tournament. Well, that's, getting some of these numbers in your favor is what matters, because let's not kid ourselves. The selection committee is not sitting there watching every single one of Boise State games. They just look down the spreadsheet and say, what are they in this quad? What are they in this quad? And okay, let's see what seed they need to get. So a lot of basketball still to go. But what did you make of the other night? Boise State certainly didn't play well. They were, down 9, I think, early in the first half. They had 15 turnovers in the first half. It was looking like a resume killer potentially if they were to lose that game. But, as Leon Rice said, they found a way to win ugly. They came back. They still win by 10 points. And I guess you're not going to, over a 31-game season, you're not going to have it every game, Mike. But I guess if in the game where you quote-unquote don't have it, you're still able to win by 10, I guess that's a good sign.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. You are going to have those kinds of games. And the fact that they played so better in the second half was a good sign. They came off the most emotionally intense basketball game that any of us have seen around here in a long, long time. And I know they had a couple of days of rest, but still, that doesn't matter. Emotionally, you're still thinking about that Friday night game against New Mexico, and it was really, really taxing for mentally, physically for these guys. And they had to get home. They had to get to the weekend. They had to go out and play on a Tuesday. So I had no problem with it. Sometimes you have to win ugly, and I thought it was a sign of character that they were much, much better in the second half. Fresno State, it was just fortunate timing. I'm a big believer in karma and things coming your way. And the timing of the schedule worked in Boise State's favor. And maybe that's a sign that this could be the season that Boise State fans have wanted for a long time. I just sense that something cool is really brewing. And that was just another piece of the puzzle on Tuesday night.
Well, they got Colorado State at home on Saturday. Then they go to Air Force on Tuesday before what could be another one of those huge games at San Diego State next Friday. I do want to talk attendance here in just a second, but I want to thank a couple of our sponsors. Cutwater Spirits, more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. There's a sponsor of our studios here at Bronco Nation News. Make sure you check them out. Pick one up today at your local gas station or grocery store. They still got that offer going at rowpaint.com, by the way. 15% off if you use the promo code BNN15. All the interior painting in your home all winter is 15% off if you use the promo code BNN15 at rowpaint.com. Lithia Ford of Boise, I got my free oil change scheduled for Monday since I purchased a vehicle from them. Make sure you head over to Lithia Ford of Boise. They're paying top dollar, by the way, for used cars and trucks. Even if you don't buy from them, it's all done in 3 easy steps. You can share your vehicle information, make an appointment, get a cash offer from the appraiser while you wait, hassle-free on the spot at Lithia Ford of Boise and Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Appreciate their support of Bronco Nation News. Was cashing a check the other day, and I talked to my wife about how easy it was to do it all from your phone. And even though there is a branch on every corner, you never need to go in there because you can just do it all from your laptop, your computer, your phone, manage all your accounts, transfer money, pay your loans, anything you have. It's so easy, and you can get more information. Sign up today. I had somebody else, another friend of mine, actually Jake Forsyth, who golfed with you, Mike, in the foursome.
Nice.
He texted me the other day saying, make sure you let ICCU know I just signed up for a business account with them because of your advertising. So it is working, and we appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union for their support of Bronco Nation News. And Mike, it was interesting. We got into it on social media a little bit. Or not, we didn't, but there were some people kind of starting a discussion about basketball attendance, and they are accounting the numbers differently the last couple of years. So they announced 9,000 for the game the other night. There wasn't close to 9,000. After the Nevada game, I personally felt Leon Rice voiced disappointment. A Boise State official kind of pushed back at me when I tweeted that, and they said, well, he never said disappointment. But twice, when Leon Rice was asked about how good the crowd was, he said, we need more. And so I thought he was a little disappointed. That was my read in the crowd at the Nevada game. where you're coming off a couple of huge road wins, and it's a big game for first place, and there was a ton of open seats. Last night, a couple nights ago, 7 o'clock again, a 7 o'clock weeknight game. They announced about 9,000, but it wasn't close to that. The third deck was pretty much empty. We'll see what they can get on Saturday. 6 o'clock game on a Saturday, you would think they should be able to get a big crowd for Colorado State. But the numbers are up. I know that you had some numbers on social media, but part of that, I think, is the way they count the numbers now. They're not close to that many actual seats in the stands. They had a great crowd for the what was the game that they had? Utah State, I guess it was. They had a huge crowd, 12,000, I think it was. But overall, interest, fan attendance, where are you?
BJ, I love what Leon Rice does in terms of pushing and promoting the program. He does exactly what he's supposed to, and he always wants to raise the bar, whether it's his own players or his own fan base. So no problem there. I also love your passion and the way you push and needle. You kind of remind me of a young me in terms of poking the bear a little bit and trying to raise the bar and the expectations around here. But I'm telling you, man, both of you probably, in my opinion, and I'm going to say this diplomatically and as smooth as I possibly can, I think you're both misguided here just a little bit. Boise State basketball attendance, and I've been going to Boise State basketball games for almost 30 years. Right now, it's as healthy as I've ever seen it. That doesn't mean the 1980s, back in the day when they would put 10, 12,000 in there. It was different then. We put 10,000 people in a stadium for a high school football game. It was really, really different. And right now, if you're averaging, and you said Boise State does it differently in terms of the attendance. Yeah, they just do it, tickets distributed. But everybody does it that way now. So I think it's comparing apples to apples. BJ, here's the reality. There are 25 college basketball teams in the West. That's 11 Mountain West teams, 12 Pac-12 teams, and then you got Gonzaga and BYU. Boise State's ranked 5th in all of those. They would be number 2 in all of the Pac-12 behind Arizona. They're 3rd in the Mountain West. They have more attendance than Gonzaga. Now, I know Gonzaga's only got a 6,700-seat arena, and they sell it out like years in advance, so that's not really comparing them. And then BYU does a nice job. Boise State's capacity is way better than BYU's capacity. They have way more empty seats. College basketball in the West has never been a massive draw. And I think Boise State, compared to everybody else playing college basketball in the West, does a really, really nice job. You walk into any gym on a Tuesday night, college basketball in the West, and it's going to be more than 50% empty. And yeah, I'd like to see more people in there for a Tuesday game, 7 o'clock against Fresno State the other night. But I thought that crowd was pretty good. I thought it was okay. I liked it.
I just don't get some of the a lot of season tickets don't get used. It seems like a lot of empty seats sprinkled in down in the lower levels. Odd to me. I
agree with that. I totally agree with that. And that's in Leon. I mean, and Jeremiah has almost kind of given up that fight where he says we did our job and we can't force people to come. And you know how that works. Those are business decisions that buy 10 in bulk. And then they try to support the Boise State team, and they don't always go. They go to the big games. They go to 4 or 5 a year. I wish that was better. But I really think the attendance of Boise State basketball, take out all the logistics, butts in the seats, attendance, enthusiasm, passion, the crowd atmosphere. I think Boise State's done a really good job, and they're at a better place now than they have been for a long, long time. Keep pushing buttons because that's going to help the growth. I'm talking to you, BJ. Leon Rice, keep pushing buttons because that's going to help the growth. You guys have a significant role in helping build this growth. But I also think the reality check is Boise State basketball fans are responding to this team. The city of Boise is responding to college basketball like most teams in the West do not, and I like that.
Yeah, that's fair. What are we, over 700,000 people now in the Valley? You're coming off a team that won a program record 27 games last year, went to the big dance. They're, again, an exciting team to go watch. You see a win about 82% of the time when you go to Extra Mile Arena to see a game, so you're going to see a good, fun atmosphere in game. And, again, I'm jaded. I went to Kansas. I counted it up the other night. The 4 years I was there, they were like 65-5 at home. So I mean, I get it. And I think Boise State does a pretty nice job with the atmosphere, the promotion, the music. I mean, this isn't it's not a slight at Boise State, itself. It's more just the fans, and you'd think they could get more for a $20 ticket, but it's just it's a different excuse every night. It seems like sometimes, but I have to give up. I have to give up at some point because I've been on that for years. I didn't understand it why you can't sell out the football stadium every game. Everybody has reasons. If you can't afford it, whatever. Like, I get it. I just think there's enough people in this Valley that should be able to want to go. And especially, it's not like it's some 500 team. I mean, this is a team that's going to be in March Madness. They got fun, easy players to like, Tyson Degenhart and some of these guys that are fun to watch. I mean, I don't know. I mean, my kids have school the next day, and they're begging me to go to some of these games. So I'm just surprised. I guess I'm more just surprised that they can't get, the third deck more full on a consistent basis.
For the sake of your mental health, don't be surprised anymore, because this is what it is. It's the reality, and I think it's pretty good. And again, keep pushing buttons, because I like that. But come on, and I'm not sure you can use the population thing anymore, because, and I have no idea how good UCLA is, but Boise State's outdrawing UCLA. Boise State, as I said, would be number 2 in all of the Pac-12. I think Arizona's averaging about 12,000 fans. Nobody else is averaging over 7,000 or 8,000 fans in the Pac-12. So
UCLA, they got the Lakers, all the other things to do in LA. I mean, we have the Steelheads, and what else is going on right now in Boise?
I know, but you know what? It's all relative. It's all about the ratio, and I just think it's good here. It could it be better? Yes, to your point, but it's good. And when you and Leon get frustrated, that's the part where I think that maybe you cross the line just a little bit, because it's okay to push and promote. And I like that. But I wouldn't get frustrated, because I actually think it's really good.
I don't get frustrated. I'm more surprised. I'm dumbfounded, I think is the word for me. I just don't understand why they can't get more. I don't care. I mean, I'm not making any money off how many tickets they sell. I don't care. I'm more just puzzled than frustrated. But I can see why Leon Rice would get puzzled. We got to get to George Holani, but a couple of comments here. Nathaniel Wilder, guaranteed things in life: death, taxes, and BJ discussing fan attendance. Jordan says BJ needs to step up and commit to Ford the River for a sellout on Saturday. Kurt Fuller was mentioning the open seats on the lower level. BNN staff needs to threaten a strike if it doesn't happen. We can put 30,000 in a football stadium, should be able to pack the arena. I get it.
No. That's a ridiculous logic. That's a ridiculous logic.
Hey, if you're looking for a new job, check out transcompservice.com. They're helping you get into the trucking industry. They can get you driving that Amazon truck you see in your neighborhood, the big rig on your screen. If you're looking for a new job, the trucking industry is booming right now, and you can get more information at transcompservice.com. I went yesterday, Mike. No cavities, no fillings needed, nothing, with Dr. Minor at Boise Dentistry Co. You can check them out, Boise Dentistry Co. Find a location near you. They're opening up a new location on Overland here. That'll give them 5 locations around the Treasure Valley. So make sure you check out BoiseDentistryCo.com. If you're looking to lower your business insurance rate, United Commercial Insurance, 229-8222, and they can help you out. They can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. The BlueandOrangeStore.com, check them out as well. They can give you free shipping. Any order over $40, you go to theblueandorangestore.com, make an order of at least $40, and get free shipping. It's that easy at theblueandorangestore.com. Ridley's Family Markets, go download their new app. Exclusive savings in the app, the Ridley's app, and then you take it with you to the CUNA location or whichever location is near you. They got 13 in Idaho. Find the location near you at shopridleys.com. Okay, I had a chance yesterday to catch up with George Holani. This was a Bronco Nation News exclusive one-on-one interview here, Mike, and I want to play this, and then we'll briefly discuss it afterwards, and I know you guys may discuss it a little more on your show today, but George Holani, his first comments on returning to Boise State in 2023. You're still here, man.
Yes, sir.
Talk about just your decision to want to come back.
I sat down with my family, and we talked about it, and I prayed about it, and the main thing for me was just coming back and not leaving anything on the table. I wanted to continue to grow and just continue to come here and rehab and continue to get my body right. And that was another thing that I knew I wanted to work on. Just healing the body and just coming back ready to work.
Were you kind of thinking during the year that you were probably going to go, and then it changed, or what? Because, I think a lot of fans and media and everybody thought you were for sure gone. What was kind of your mindset during the season?
For me, personally, I wanted to have another back-to-back good years, to just show scouts and to show everyone really that I can be consistent and I can have another good year. So I think just coming back and continuing to just build. I think that was the main thing.
So were you truly undecided, or were you leaning one way or the other and it changed, back and forth? One day it's this, one day it's that?
It was kind of like a long thinking process for me. I would say it was a lot of mixed emotions. My mind was 50-50 really for me. So, but I really, sat down, thought about it, and yeah.
Did you talk to either agents or teams or scouts or what? Did you have any idea kind of what your status was if you had decided to go?
So if I did go, I talked to some agents, projected to go late rounds, fifth, sixth, seventh, or even undrafted. Just talking to some agents. Yeah.
And that's not good enough for you, I guess.
I mean, that's good, but like there's always better.
Yeah. I mean, what is that? What do you think another year of coming back can do for you and your stock? Put another 1,000-yard season together and stay healthy for another year.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think another thing for me is just coming back and like helping out more with the team, and my personal goal is just to be more of a leader for this team. So that was another thing.
What was there like one just moment or one thing or one conversation where it was like, I'm not done yet, I am coming back?
Oh, there's a lot of conversations with a lot of people, and obviously everyone has different opinions, but when it came down to it, I thought this was the best decision.
You didn't put out like a big graphic or anything. You just put out a little 4 or 5 word tweet that said not done. What was it? Is that just your personality? You didn't want to make a big video or anything? Or?
Oh no. I mean, it's a new year, and I just kind of wanted to let everyone know that I want to stay with the same team, and I'm grateful.
Ashton's emergence, how did that kind of play into this, and what your role would be next year, and how much carries he was going to get versus you, and how did if at all did Ashton and Talon and the offense play into your decision?
I think it was a really big decision coming back. Having those guys that's able to help this offense grow. It's really scary for this upcoming season. I'm really excited for this offense, and it's a blessing to have those guys. So I'm excited, and I can't wait.
How do you think you got over 1,000 yards again? You for the most part stayed healthy. I mean, how do you evaluate what you did last year?
I think it was a solid year. There definitely could have been some better runs, and I definitely watched film, with Ashton, coaches, and kind of went over, like, we have clips of all of our runs throughout the whole season, and just watching it's really exciting to see that there's more growth, and there's a lot of potential for us to become a really great offense.
How much fun was last year for you? You had the injuries the previous 2 years, you had the COVID season, all this weird stuff. And for you to get out there and do your thing, get back over 1,000 yards, I'm sure you think you could have done better, but it still had to be back to like your freshman year where you're just out there balling, having fun again.
Oh yeah, I think it was a really fun year for me, just being healthy for most of the year, just being on the field and just contributing to the team. It's really exciting.
So I mean, obviously stay healthy and do well, but what other goals or things do you have in mind for your first season?
I mean, I graduate this year, so that's going to be exciting, getting my bachelor's in business administration and a minor in entrepreneurship. So that was another thing. Just getting my degree, and just being able to help out more in the community. I know last year I didn't really do as much as I wanted to, but I kind of want to go back out and just help out with that.
What have the conversations been like with Bush, and what do you think of the offense?
I would say it's pretty similar, like formations and everything that I've been learning so far. It's pretty similar to what we ran. I think we'll be out more of gun this year, so I can't wait. I'm excited to have Bush, as a coach, and just continue to grow with him.
Well, Mike, we the interview was a little bit longer than that, but we only have contractually obligated to keep you for 30 minutes here. So we will tease to the last 2-3 minutes. Folks can go to our YouTube channel and watch the full interview there. As always, I talked way too long before we played the interview, which is not a shocker. But there was a picture on social media, by the way, of him wearing a sling. And so his very first answer, he talked about his rehab and wanting to continue that. I'm not going to say that played into it, but he didn't wear the swing when he showed up for the interview. But if he did have some sort of shoulder surgery or whatever, and that would have precluded him from doing workouts or things with teams, that might have also played in his decision to want to come back this year. But overall, he's back, and he said he was, he admitted he was, what we all thought, 5th to 7th round or even undrafted. Decided to come back and try to improve his stock. What'd you make of what you heard?
I love that dude. I mean, how could you not love that dude? And it's more than just being a football player. He said all the right things. He's doing all the right things. He's humbled. He's smart. He's motivated. I love George Holani. I think he's coming back. He's one of those rare dudes. He's coming back. He doesn't have to be the rock star. He just wants to be the team player. When he talks about getting back out into the community, that's a pretty cool deal. I would imagine at the end of the day, you get that legal sheet and you put the pros and the cons on one side. It sounds like there was a million different reasons to come back and maybe one or two reasons to leave. And he made a smart decision. And college football athletes, student athletes in college today with so many choices aren't always making the right choices. George Holani, you're the rock star of this football team. Nicely done, my friend.
I don't know if it's the same for him because he might have more of a pro career, but when we asked Garrett Curran yesterday, he said, you'll never regret, you definitely could regret leaving, because I don't know how you could ever regret coming back. And so
exactly.
I don't know if that, necessarily if George Holani were to get injured or something and his stock goes down, maybe in his case it's different, but you're a college kid. You can only have it one time, and George Holani is back for another year and should be exciting for the offense. And again, the last couple minutes of that interview, you can go to the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. We sent that out to subscribers last night. They had it first, and then you guys got to hear it there, and it's now available for everyone on the Bronco Nation News YouTube channel. So, Mike, appreciate your time as always. We'll be listening 3 to 6 today. We got Dimitri Washington and Steph Cobbs talking to the media at noon today, so I'm sure you guys will have that on your show today. And then 4 o'clock tomorrow, I will join you guys, or 4:15, I guess, tomorrow before the game on Saturday against Colorado State. So appreciate your time as always, man.
Looking forward to it. Appreciate the conversation today, and can't wait to see it. Do it again tomorrow at 4:15.
Mike Prater, KTIK. Be listening 3 to 6 today, Idaho Sports Talk, and we'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com.